Here we are at Coniston. Just arrived. This spot here is quite popular for walks. Well, today it's an abbreviated preamble. It's basically around Coniston here. You can see the map. Just to give you an idea, and today we're going to leave it at that because we're all eager to get walking. The location we're at, it's probably quite well known, Torver Common. Off we go, start up the track. Here we are, walking along now. We're actually at the front for once.
But
there we are.
It's a boat, you don't get many of those in the Lake District.
The good thing about this lake is there's no motorised boats over a certain horsepower. We're at a gentleman here swimming in the lake. Not sure how cold it is, but rather him than us. There's the aforementioned Coniston launch, or one of the vessels. I think they have two. You can probably hear it's pretty quiet. And it's a lovely, there's nobody on it at the moment, but it's a lovely cruise. I think, as I just said, this track is very rough here. And it doesn't seem to have got any better since I last came up it. Just a yacht, sailing peacefully. As usual, if I'm wobbling the camera, excuse me, it's because I'm zooming and it's a bit difficult to hold the camera steady. We're just going through this kissing gate here.
Just hang on a minute, we'll wait for others.
Our leader's asking us to pause while the stragglers at the back catches up. Climbing up now. It's a very varied walk, this. Up and down, mainly at the side of the lake at this point. At some point, if you look at the side of the lake, you can see solidified slag from the copper smelting that they used to do. They used to smelt the copper, obviously heating it up to its liquid form, and the slag was skimmed off the top, and they used to throw it on the lake shore, and you can pick it up.
Just going back on that.
And we just come down to the side of the lake.
You can scramble up the hills if you want.
Now, again, sorry for my camera wobble, but this is one of the best reasons for coming to Coniston, to see the steam gondola, as it's called, owned by the National Trust. It was originally a steam yacht designed by the Furnace Railway, and people used to come to Coniston on the train, on the railway was there. And there was actually two of these yachts. There was Gondola and Lady of the Lake. Lady of the Lake was the bigger one. This area, there's all sorts of things. There's flora and fauna. If you come at the right time of year, you can see insect life, mayfly, varied trees, and it's just a wonderful varied walk. It really, in my opinion, doesn't get much better. Now we're just coming up to what's called Torver Landing, one of the jetties. It's a floating jetty that the Coniston launch uses to take people on board and off board. Very often there's people sat on it. It's delightful because you can sit on the end and bob on the water whilst waiting for the Coniston launch, or even if you're not getting the launch, you can just sit there with your sandwiches admiring the view. We're just coming through to a rather larger gate. As you can see, the path's now improved. To my knowledge, the path is in the ownership of different bodies, so the maintenance varies quite a lot. Sorry. I'm just going to show you here now in my hand. This is a piece of the copper slag that I was referring to, when the chaps who were smelting the copper skimmed the slag off the top and chucked it at the side of the lake. I often collect a piece, and I've just been talking to a lady, and she's actually just picked a piece up herself. So it must be quite a common thing for people to come and take a piece of the copper slag home from Coniston as a as a token of the fact that they've been here. Perhaps better than a postcard. For the next few seconds or so, I'm just going to let the camera run just to show the scenery as we're walking along. Through the trees, there's the launch just gliding along. The sign there is obviously showing Lake District National Park as the ownership of this bit. As I said, the path is varies depending on the ownership. Just go through the Kissing Gate here. The boatyard here is now owned by the University of Birmingham. As you can see, the sign, Raymond Presley Centre. I'm not quite sure who Raymond Presley is, but students from the university come up for days and weekends participating in the various activities on the lake, and you can see a varied set of craft there on the lake for them to use. I'll just do a sweep of the skyline of Coniston Old Man and the mountains behind us and the sky as we continue around this farm building. Looks immensely ancient. Farm buildings here, farm buildings to the left of us, farm buildings to the right of us. That's more of the skyline. We've just come out of the overgrown footpath now, which proved not to be as overgrown as we feared it might be. We're going to cross a field, fairly obviously, towards this gate here. Here we are coming towards this area here, this delightful farm, which I'm reliably told is called, what was it again?
It's called Barrow.
Barrow Farm. At some point along here we hit the old railway line from Foxfield to Coniston. I'm not quite sure when we are on it. This may be, I don't think so, but again, here's a lovely view of the farm. Absolutely beautiful. I just film where we've come from. The vista in the background there with the hills. Yes, and here we have the dutiful lawnmower. Look at that. There it goes, dutifully mowing the lawn. Look at that, eh?
Has anybody got a rucksack to get
Look at that.
What about having an itinerary?
We've just come to a lovely spot here, and my colleague opens the gate here. We may consider having our lunch, as it looks rather nice. Over the other side is the Coniston to Torver Road. I'm looking over to Torver now, and I think behind us is the former railway line. I just said to this sheep, "Do you want to be a film star?" And it's turned around and gone away. This one, I don't suppose he minds. We're sort of girding up our loins to get moving after our lunch stop. There's a possibility that at Torver there is a pub we could perhaps pop into, which is something we don't do very often, but we've been once before, and we do think that the pub sells ice cream as well as beer, which will suit a lot of people here. Through the gate here, and it looks as if a more formal path has been laid on the line of the railway, which looks like a very good surface. There's a rather nice seat here with this inscription on, name on.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, they must.
And round the front of the seat is round the front of the seat is a representation of the names of the intermediate stations on the railway line. Now we're coming across a bridge. It's obviously a relic of the railways.
The railway there, mustn't it?
Across the I mean the beck. So obviously the bridge.
Why did you put a fish? That's not good. Hey, Derek?
Yeah.
Now we're coming to the junction of the road
Right, Bob, you can leave this.
and into Coniston.
Oh, that's it, you got it there, Bob.
So here we are outside the Wilson's Free House. This place has everything. It's got a deli. I think it has a campsite at the back, and I think in summer they erect a marquee for the camping trade. It's got a restaurant inside. Looks very smart, and the beer is excellent. So this is our commercial, and I can assure you the landlord didn't pay me anything. Now we're again girding our loins and reluctantly leaving our. Right, this is the junction here, the road that goes back to the coast road, and this one goes to Broughton-in-Furness. Quite a busy junction here. Now we're coming to
A lot longer.
private residence only, no riffraff. We're commenting on the lambs, the sheep lamb later, and here's testament to that. I'll just zoom in here. It's very young lamb, look at that. Going back towards its mother. Look at that there, the red on the bush there, fantastic. Oh, absolutely delightful river area. I'll just swing to the other side and show you the river coming down past the building there. Again, delightful. Beats having to power your garden, spring and pond by an electric pump. The people here have got a lovely environment. Mill pool barn, lovely. So here we are on Torver Common proper, often referred to as an area, but this is the actual common according to the sign. To pause at the top of this view, the members are struggling up here. Just a sweeping view of the town here. The grass and bracken looks dry here, and a walking colleague commented on the recent policies of not allowing sheep on various bits of fells, which they would have cropped the grass.
That one over there.
Whether some conservation policies are overall beneficial. We're just commenting now that according to the OS map, this is a reservoir, not a natural tarn. Now we're trying to decide, this beck goes down towards the south, back towards where the cars are, and we're trying to work out the best way of getting across. There's some discussion about what side of the river we walk back. Now we've determined what side of the beck we want to be at, which is really the eastern side. The bracken is all looking dead, presumably waiting to spring into life in a few weeks' time. Coming to a bank of what looks like hawthorn blossom. There's lots of small springs come off from an angle at the side, draining into the brook just below us. Yeah, and here we are, the said blossom. Looking, I'm not sure it is hawthorn. Oh yes it is, it's hawthorn. We're going now towards the end of the walk, Just across the road in the distance is the cars where we've parked. Now as we come to the walk's end, as we're trying to say, somewhat tongue-tied, that is the bridge. Walking across the bridge there. So basically walk's end. I'm going to be signing off now. There's nothing much else to say except the road to Blarwith and our cars and a load of people changing boots. So au revoir for now.